right, welcome in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. 7 a.m. right here on Jock. Glad you're with us. And I have a topic that I want us all to sort of collectively get into here early, because I have been asked to appear on, I think, 3 different shows in the last 24 hours to discuss this particular topic. And it was one that I had not really considered that I would want to have a conversation here with on the show, or thought we'd need to have a conversation about. But apparently this is now becoming something that everybody wants to discuss and everybody thinks is a real thing. And that this is the, I guess, the potential, possible, probable downfall of the SEC, which when you have multiple teams in the college football playoff, I would think your conference is in pretty good shape. But the problem is the conference is always, I'm going to call it the Saban era. I don't know what else to call it.
That makes sense. Okay.
You know, people can say 2000s, or, you know, when they had multiple teams winning titles. I'm just going to call it, because I think the time in which Nick Saban was at Alabama, I think probably most accurately defines when the league was at its best. Number one, you had Alabama doing what they were doing.
Right. Then
Then Georgia came along and did what they did. LSU
popped in from time
had
to
a
time.
run.
Yeah.
Florida maybe had multiple runs. Auburn had a run in there. You also had, I mean, let's just say Mississippi State had maybe their best or best teams in school history, possibly.
Ole Miss had shining moments.
Ole Miss got close a couple of times. Tennessee had some good teams in there, right? Maybe right before that run, really. So, and then towards the end, I mean, the Heupel team that ended the streak, that was a pretty good Tennessee team.
Yeah.
All right, so multiple teams have had either their best teams ever, probably one of their top 5 teams ever, and maybe their best run ever in school history. And now the discussion around this is that it's over, which I think is fair to say.
I wouldn't disagree. It's fair to say yes. I've got to sit and think and look and all the other times, but it feels like it's starting to, yes.
But here's the problem with it, in my opinion. It's not an on and off switch. You don't just say, okay, league's done. We don't talk about them anymore. We move on to the next one. It's just the Big Ten now, which the Big Ten is on a pretty good run right now with where Michigan was, which we could, if we're hitting on and off switches, we could turn theirs off.
That's probably, yeah.
Like they're expelled right now.
The power guy came and just unplugged
They're not
them,
even late. They've got a sign in their front yard that house will be available soon.
They have some court documents like on the window just taped up, like, whew, something happened here.
But Ohio State's been pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've been going. Indiana is on their best run in school history right now. That's great. It's good.
Yeah.
Oregon doing really good things. Oregon has been a consistent player for what, a decade?
About, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe longer.
I do have a feeling that some of these people that would like to push some of these narratives, and I try not to be like super narrative guy, but some of these people that try to overdo it, if what Oregon has exactly done was in the Southeastern Conference or even in the ACC, the narrative would be, yeah, but they can't win the big one.
Yeah.
They can't win it all. I mean, that's what they would be, the team that can't win it all. Yeah, but they're not. I mean, how many titles they got? It's like it would be the new against who?
Yeah.
But do we look at this and say that something is finished? Do we look at it and just say, if so, if you're going to play that game and you're going to push that narrative and you're going to live in that neighborhood, I need to know when the light switch was turned off. When did it end? I don't think it's over. I just think it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all ever changing. It's an evolution that will never truly stop, because you're not just going to have a constant. You can't have a constantly, because every team's different every year. Now, some programs might have good teams every year, but let's be honest, even in the Saban era, if that's what we're going to call it, there were some Alabama teams that looked downright unstoppable. And there were others that were good, but it was like, whew, they kind of held on a couple times.
Yep.
Didn't look as though they were the Great Wall as often as they did some other years, if you were trying to scale it. And then if it is over, are you also trying to push the narrative that has been replaced?
That's
Are we trying to say the Big Ten is now that dominant?
right.
because I'm not think I'm going to go there. If we're going to label this and we're going to say we have to have these titles and these labels and these names for things, I'm just going to say this is a new college football because isn't it? It is, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Conference expansion. Totally. Like,
Right.
when you put 16 teams in a conference, and I'm not just talking about the SEC or any
if not
conference.
more. Right.
Right.
Okay. It's going to be harder to win that league, is it not? And by the way, not just because there are more good teams, because there's not as definitive of a way to win it.
Right.
So therefore, it complicates things as to, okay, Team A and Team B have the same records, and they're not even going to play for it? Or maybe has a better record and will not even be in conference championship game and has proven that they were better because they've advanced in the playoff. Yeah, but it's weird, but here we are. And then you take in the transfer portal. You take in where we are paying players. Like the thing that is a little bit odd to me, I will never push back on there were SEC schools that were paying players. But I can vividly remember Rick Trickett sitting in a meeting room talking about how much money Cedric Irvin got to go to Michigan State and that they had a chance to get him, which was essentially you admitting that you were also in the game.
Yeah, you were in the bidding. Yeah.
But that's why he wasn't playing at Auburn.
We just ain't got it.
I vividly remember multiple coaches at Auburn talking about recruiting James Johnson out of junior college, who then went to Mississippi State and was a really good running back, but we couldn't get him, quote fingers. And somehow most of my friends on the team got nothing.
Wow.
And we were there.
Yeah, we were there.
So that's all it took.
But this whole picture that's attempting to be painted of y'all were all paying kids then, you're screwed now. Did the faucet just turn off?
Right. We got them. We got them now.
Okay. Well,
You're telling me Ohio State was never paying players?
Never.
Michigan was never paying players?
Never.
USC, well, I mean.
Well, one.
All right.
There was one.
but it was given back, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Oklahoma, Texas before, like, PSEC. They weren't. It was all above board.
It was all,
then.
yeah. They were
SMU only did it the once.
Yes.
Okay.
They're
all
doing
right.
it by the book.
Okay.
Okay. And some will say the greatest high school running back recruit of all time who ended up going to Oklahoma and ripping his knees up. He was just
There because he loved
he just loved watching that schooner run out for the game.
and not
Got
fall
it.
over.
Noted. Good. So how is it just over all of a sudden? See, I think the money thing is dumb. I think it's a dumb argument.
Right.
I think it is strictly talent disbursement. And now, whether you got paid $10,000, $110,000, $1,010,000, you have the ability to leave whenever you want. And no matter what you were making or how you were making it or who was giving, if you were Ricky Rowe in Blue Chips and they were dropping off a John Deere tractor and a duffel bag of cash on your front porch for your daddy, you could leave, but there would be a punishment. You'd have to wait and you'd have to sit out.
Yep.
Now, by the way, I mean, I say this not mad at the kid. It's just I saw a tweet the other day about this wide receiver who's leaving USC, who had 2 catches for 53 yards, and he made $550,000 this year. But you know what he can do? Walk.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying. We got Damon Williams right now at Washington, who re-signed a deal to return, who apparently is making top-tier quarterback money, who says, nah, dog, I'm going to the portal.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and Washington's like,
Washington says we would like to counter that
Not so
offer.
fast, my friend.
Yes. Think first before you move.
But before you move. It's crazy.
I just this whole, like, I don't know how people can look at this and feel like it's strictly financial. Because, listen, the paradigm has shifted. If you wanted to say the power has shifted, okay, cool. But that's why is Michigan not there anymore?
Well,
I mean, they're a powerhouse, right? Have been forever.
have been. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they won a title like my youngest was alive when they won a title.
True.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, true.
He's 5.
True. He's seen a Michigan title.
So,
Seen him in the playoff multiple times. Your youngest, yeah.
but if we're just saying that it's all gone there now, they should be that.
Should.
And is Indiana that because so much of the money has changed? Because I don't look at Indiana's roster and say, man, Mark Cuban stepped in there and is lacing everybody up.
No.
Like Texas Tech, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, Cody Campbell, I don't think cares that people know that. I think he's proud that people know that.
Exactly.
They want people to know Brendan Sorsby just got $5 million and will make more than Jackson Dart in the next calendar year. Not the Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, by the way.
No,
the Jackson Dart right now.
Right.
New York Giants.
For the Giants. That one. Not comparing college money. Comparing now money. And he will get more.
That's insane.
Might be dumb. Might be silly. But it is. And if that's the case, where's the Big 12 now? Because wasn't BYU in front of everybody on this? They had some Nutri-Grain bar deal with their whole team. And we're going to get all this money from some nutrition company, from some snack bar that we'd never heard of.
Maybe Crumble stepped in. I was like, nah.
We got this.
Yeah.
We got this.
Screw that nutrition. No.
Well, where's their team then?
I'm sitting at home now.
Because they hadn't been able to upgrade a quarterback. They may have now.
Yeah, they got Bear
with Rocco Beck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
I don't know. Like if it's just financial and you're saying now that another team has replaced the SEC, shouldn't they be close to what the SEC then was? Like you're telling me that the under the table money was that different in a certain league than everywhere else. That I cannot believe. And that, by the way, there are so many people that are stuck in their ways that are so old school that said, if I can't give it to them in a duffel bag behind the scenes, then I ain't helping. Like the tax benefits were that much better?
The bus locker is the only way to do this.
I mean, does Tennessee have to go call their guy again? Like, has he just quit? He's out.
Well, I think he has like a show call, so I think he's
No, not that guy. The one that the actual
the
literal
actual,
bag
the
man.
actual McDonald's bag. No, I'm with because that's the case. I mean, SMU should be picking up right where they left off back in the Pony Excess days.
And maybe they spent all their money to just get in the conference.
Right.
And now they're out.
It's kind of light right now.
Like they should be picking up right where they left off.
If it's strictly financial, and those are the only things that changed everything, Fred Smith literally
he could
decided to front load Memphis into a conference.
True.
Not pay a roster. Keep your TV money for 5 years, he said. I'll pay it. Just let us in.
Just let us in.
That he couldn't, if it's just money, they can't go get kids. And at least be better than all the other G4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not that. But you're telling me it's strictly transactional as to why this and how this has changed. It isn't. There's no way.
Not fully. We've somewhat seen it work with Texas Tech. They made the playoff when they hadn't really been close this year. But also maybe we don't know for sure because we've only seen it just this one time.
We could make the argument right this second that Texas Tech is no different than Cincinnati a couple of years ago. We could make the argument right this second that Cincinnati was no different than Boise, even though there was no 12-team playoff, but making a BCS bowl and winning that game, and then kind of going away a little bit. Not saying they fell off the face of the earth, but they weren't that team again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to see Texas Tech there again next year.
No, I don't disagree.
And the next year and the next year
Right.
to say that all of a sudden everything has changed with them, because I hate to be that guy, but I kind of told y'all so.
He definitely did.
You
Yeah.
did.
Like, they're not that team. They aren't. They were very disruptive at a couple of spots, pretty good at a couple of places, but it was, if you watch it, they didn't belong there. Because Oregon did a lot of things to allow them to stay in that game.
Mm-hmm.
No, Texas Tech forced some of them. I will say that.
What on the offense?
But will they be in this spot again next year with their $5 million quarterback?
They better be.
I don't know. I don't know.
They better be.
But they are an example of, hey, financially, we were able to go do this instead of be that. Okay. But if you're saying that that's the only reason, now you're telling me the SEC teams are poor?
They ain't broke.
I'm just not buying that.
I agree with you.
So what are the reasons? Is there anything other than the ability to just flat out leave? Because I think that's all it is. Why I've said from the beginning that until you fix the portal, none of this is getting right. If whatever you want to even call right, some people think right and wrong, or they have very different views of that. 800-239-9569, you want to get in. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. You can be a part of the show there. We'll continue this discussion, get your thoughts. John and Damian will share their thoughts. GMAC with us at some point later today. He's doing television. But first, I want to tell you guys about Train. You guys know flu season is here. Listen, don't get caught in it. Don't let flu season attack you. We have multiple friends right now whose household is on full attack.
Ravaged by the flu, yeah.
Yeah,
Know
it
the
is.
feeling.
And unfortunately, we've had a couple of friends in our friend group that got hit hard by this right around Christmas. You don't want this to hit your house. You don't want this to happen. Get the Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. Removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. 100 times more effective than standard air filters. 8 times more effective than HEPA filters. Find a dealer near you at train.com. It's hard to stop a train. More of whether or not the SEC is dead. And if it is, you got to give me a good reason. Next on Jocks. Be careful riding around out there. There is a, how do they state this? Dense fog alert, heavy, dense fog alert.
That feels right. Yeah.
My wife and I were sitting at dinner last night, and she's like, your watch said that there's a weather emergency. And I kind of looked down. I was like, what? I haven't heard anything. She's like, it's supposed to rain? I was like, oh, it's a fog warning.
Be careful, man.
It is. I mean, it's out there. Just don't put the high beams on. Be careful when you're rolling around.
It's dangerous, but also it's fog. Like I understand you need to be mindful of it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it can't be problematic.
Yeah.
But a weather emergency alert, just
like unless it's a tornado or a hurricane.
Right, yeah.
We're not driving tugboats under bridges or anything. I mean, flying airplanes here.
Yeah.
Right? But be careful out there moving around this morning. 800-239-9569 if you want to get in. 800-239-WJOX. You could be a part of the show there. You can also text into the show, 205-834-9450. How do we label where the conference distribution of power is now in college football? If you were to sort of put a label on that, Damien, if you were to come up with a title for an article of that, of where we have come, where we are now, if that article read 3, 5, 7 years ago that the SEC is clearly the most dominant conference in college football, how would you alter that to where we are today?
We want parity, and we want it now. Well, now you got it. And to your point, it's the disbursement of talent. The fact that I can play at a power I talked about this earlier this morning. Jaden Daniels is a great example. I played at Arizona State, which at that time was a Power 5 school. Still is a Power 5 school. Transferred to LSU. Better opportunity. I had the opportunity, was given the opportunity. I'm gone. Goes, wins the Heisman, ends up being the number 2 overall pick. Caleb Williams played at Big 12 Oklahoma, goes to Pac-12 USC, wins the Heisman. Like the talent dispersal that we see, it's just evened everything out. Like these guys can go to whatever school they want to, no matter the talent level, and go out there and ball. And they can make some pretty good money on the other end as well. Like we're looking at Brendan Sorsby right now making $5 million. Do I think that he's worth $5 million? No, but you're worth whatever somebody's willing to give you. And
that's what
Texas Tech is willing to give you that. Go out there and ball then. Congratulations.
That's what the people who want free market, free enterprise, that's what they'll say is you're worth what everybody's going to give you. So if you, as a college quarterback, are viewed as more valuable as Jackson Dart, the NFL quarterback, then if they have it and they're willing to, they'll pay you on that.
Mm-hmm.
And some people love that. And some people think that's the way it should be. Other people think that there should be some sort of guardrails and it shouldn't be able to take place that way. Who knows if that's sustainable? A lot of people will jump up on the podium and say, no, it's not. How do we know? I don't know what Cody Campbell's bank account looks like. I know there's a lot of zeros and commas on it, but he may even grow frustrated with, all right, guys, like, yes, I could. What do we talk about rich people a lot of times? Like, not a lot of rich people that throw money away on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They got there for a reason. So even he, as an alum, former player, might look back one day and say, yeah, man, all right, we're up to about 36 million now. And we have no playoff wins. We're going back to what it was before. Like, good luck. We don't know. Donald wants to chime in on the Higginbotham hotline. Welcome in, Donald.
Hey, Cube. Hey, you answered your own question a while ago when you said that back in your day when you played, there might have been some bigger people got money and none of you and your buddies did. Well, you might have been able to pay the top 5, 10 players some money, but nowadays you got to pay the top 30 players to keep them on your team, and it's just not enough money to go around anymore. It's just, you pay the top 2 or 3 a lot of money, and then you got to start spreading it out to the rest of them, keep them on your team. So where in the old days you had to pay a few and the other ones didn't get none, you got to shovel it out to all of them now.
It's totally fair, and I think it's accurate. But is that the way to describe where we are now?
Well, it's a problem with where we are now. It's not the biggest thing, the reason the SEC is down, but it's just a problem that you've got to spread all that money around to everybody. And some of the other colleges have got more money than we do. I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. And there's alumni there who has money, but they don't have the money that Texas A&M, Texas, or some of the other schools got backing their people, like Oregon. I mean, we ain't got a Nike guy back in the base at Alabama that Oregon's got. So you got more money in other places. So it is a situation in the problem, and there needs to be a cap or something put on them. But that ain't gonna happen anytime soon, and somebody else is going to get more involved in it before it ever comes to fruition about reeling it in a little bit how much you're going to spend on players. Every college can't afford to spend $5 million on a quarterback.
Nope, it's fair, and it's a good point, and I appreciate the call. Thanks for chiming in.
I do think it goes in line to not only what Robert was saying, but what Damian and you both were just saying. It's not that some of these schools have like that much more money than some. I just think it's after a while, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll give $500,000, but after like 6 or 7 years, it's like, all right, I've given a couple mil. Like I have, say, 30 million, whatever, in the bank account, and I don't mind partnering with 500,000 once. All right, fine, I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But you do it for almost a decade. All of a sudden, well, hold on, I had 30, now I have 20, and I'm doing this, and you're actually asking for more. And
where are we?
Yeah.
No,
but having to do that, even still, no matter what, even if you go and win championships, they're still going to keep asking because they need the money.
They don't have a choice.
All right.
But to counter what Donald said there, he's right from that perspective. But I think where I'm going past that is where a lot of people are saying that this entire shift in college football is strictly financial. He's still not saying that the other conferences and the other schools have that much more.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, that's why they're better and the SEC is not now. If you want to say that it has helped even it out, fine.
Right.
But there are other people that are saying this is what's putting them ahead. So let's take the evening out part away. How many schools, like let's take your Texas Tech situation, that example. How many other schools have taken that leap when this has all changed similar to Texas Tech? Because we had the number of teams that we were ready to say they're going to. Oklahoma State was one.
Mm-hmm.
Major billionaire backer that was, we thought he was going to say, here it comes.
Yeah.
Didn't really happen.
Not at all.
Like Oregon's kind of been in that world for a minute now. Like they had ways that they had like wooden ducks hanging from the facility. Like it looked like they were flying. Like they were doing things first because they had somebody behind it all that was saying, all right, this is an advantage. Let's do it. Okay. Like if we need a spaceship as a football facility with nap pods and like TVs in the lockers, we'll do that. Okay. Like we thought Texas was going to be there. A&M showed they could be there. Like A&M was way ahead of the game when the collective thing started.
Yeah.
Not all on purpose, but they were smart enough to make it work for them. But you're telling me that now Indiana is better than Texas A&M this year because they have more money? I don't believe that.
No.
I don't. And then, so the people then take a step further and say, yeah, everything's in the clear now. I feel like Texas A&M has clear money also.
Yeah. Money's good.
They don't have to launder money to be in this game. They can play this game.
Play it.
Be it above board, below board, no board, inside the board. Like they got all the boards covered.
All aboard, yeah.
All aboard. Every one of them. So where are the teams outside of Texas Tech that are benefiting from this more than the others because of just the financial part? I'll wait. Maybe people would say Miami. And the reason that Miami would be allowed in this discussion is because so many teams who should be on their playing field are below them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you also had guys trying to throw parties on yachts, giving cash away, and coming up with fake companies to be able to distribute money through fake NIL. Again, don't care. Had guys that were willing to do it. Now he can just say, I don't care if Life Alert works or not.
Right, yep.
Here's the money.
Here's the money.
Good. Don't even know what board they were trying to play on. But they had it,
Yeah.
And that's still why they're there, because they've been able to go out and get elite players to come in and help them be a good football team.
Would you consider SMU in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're an answer. They may be one of the few, if not the only one. However, even still, that's one.
To a totally different extent, by the way, because they should not even be in the state that they're in, much less the neighborhood that they're in.
Yeah.
Like they didn't change neighborhoods. Like they didn't even change zip codes. Like, they literally moved continents in the college football world.
The college
By
football
a couple
version.
of people stepping up and saying, if we don't get in that league, we're not going to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. How much? Got it.
Got it.
Call A, B, C, and D. Figure it out. We're in.
Yep.
And obviously some of the players that they've got have been pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's helped them from that perspective. But I just don't look at this and say that this gigantic shift, this gigantic movement of where we were to where we are, specifically in reference to one league, is because now everybody else can spend more.
Nah.
It's just not it.
Mm-mm.
But why are people so obsessed with that being it and that being the reason? Where everybody was paying in duffel bags before, they can't do that now, so they're not as good. No, now, no matter if a guy's getting paid or not, he can leave.
Yep.
It's literally the only thing. Tom in Florence would like to chime in on the Higginbotham hotline. Welcome in, Tom.
Yeah, hey guys, love the show. I kind of tend to agree with you, Cole. I think it's all driven by the players. I will point out, though, there are some circumstances like, let's take Vanderbilt. I mean, there are rising programs like that would probably not exist without the pay that's going to go to the players that can access the money. But to your point, if that was the case and money was all it was about, then schools like Liberty wouldn't be like struggling to get to where they're getting to now.
They'd be sprinting past everybody, would they not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're here with UNA, and Liberty was in our conference for the first year when we transitioned to Division I. They weren't there long, but when they rolled into town to play us at Flowers Hall in basketball, I mean, they rolled in with basically Rolls Royces, every time they came in. It was clear that it was a very different program than what we had. I do think, though, that, and there's going to be maybe some disagreement about this, the underlying problem with this, with what made the SEC so successful for so long and grew a fan base so long, was the tradition of it. And television money changed the face of that forever. It's dictating who plays who, when we play each other. It's hurting the fan base at the same time while you've got all this stuff going on with the players. I think if I was if I was the commissioners in these different conferences, I think my biggest fear would be that the federal government's going to step in, because I think if this keeps happening, they're not going to have a choice. There's going to be so much pressure on these congressmen to do something about it.
It's a fair comment, and I think there's a lot of accuracy there. There's one other direction that I wanted to go with it, though, on the other side. We'll get to a break, come back, continue to take your calls, get your feedback on why we're seeing this giant shift and what we should point to as to the reasons we've gotten there. We'll do that next right here on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Conversation on why the balance of power, if it has, I think most of us agree that it has, shifted, then why? If you're wondering why you're feeling on edge, why you're lacking sleep, why you're lacking energy, Game Day Men's Health can help you with that. All you do is go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today, sign up for that free consultation. You're going to get the free PSA test, free testosterone test. They'll give you your baseline health, let you know where you are right this second and why some of those things may be taking place. The peptides are in stock, weight loss programs in stock. They can get you on all of this to get you feeling better. Maybe you went a little hard over the holidays. No problem. Game Day Men's Health here to help you. If you're just not feeling like yourself, why not sign up for the free consultation and see what they can do for you? Minimal upfront cost from the programs they offer, holistic approach to health and wellness, great people that aren't going to try to push programs on you. They just want to help you feel better. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, open now in Trustville. Sign up for that free consultation today. I did want to follow up on our previous caller, by the way. Great call, made great points. But just specifically from a Vanderbilt perspective, and this isn't all of it. This is not the only reason they are where they are. But also keep in mind in reference to schools like Notre Dame, and I'm not saying that Notre Dame's done this in the last 3 years. I do think that they have loosened a couple of the guidelines recently. Vanderbilt the same way. And some, not only what was involved from the school's perspective, but also the coach's perspective. But Vanderbilt has loosened the screws a little bit on what it takes to play football there. As compare, and this is from someone who played football there sharing this with me, than what it was prior. Same thing that Notre Dame has done over time. Do not call now and say that I said that they changed their academic guidelines in the last 3 years. That's not what I'm saying. But over time, they've had to make some changes. Then on top of that, Clark Lee himself has made some massive changes in how he handles things and approaches things. He told us straight up, he's like, listen, Jerry Kill came in here and said, when you don't play your best players because of something they've done off the field, you're punishing the team. Why are you doing that? Go make them run. Don't let them do this. Don't let them do that. Don't sit them out from games.
Yes.
So Clark Lee also went from trying to develop great husbands, fathers, men. And again, this is what he told us. He said, I'm tired of developing great people and then watching them beat me for the last 2 years of their career. So it's a bigger focus on football now. So he has shifted since this team kind of went where it went, how he approaches things, how he approaches players in the team, and the university's helped with that a little bit as well. And we've entered this new era of how college football acts, and now things are totally different. John is in West Jefferson, wants to talk college football. Welcome in, John.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, it is about money, Cole, but it's a different kind of money. Years ago, the kids wanted to come to the Southeastern Conference to play because that's where they had their best shot to get to the NFL. Look at how many people moved to the NFL. Now, they ain't got to go to the NFL to make money. They can go anywhere.
It's fair, John, but those examples have always been out there. Have they not?
Not really.
Jerry Rice played at Mississippi Valley State.
Yeah, but just think about it for a little
Steve
bit.
McNair played at Alcorn State. I mean, the examples have been there. Have they not?
Oh, 100%. And the NFL is different, too. Like, if you can play, they'll find you.
Or is it maybe stated a little bit of a different way? It's always been about chasing a bag of money.
Right.
It's just now you can go chase 100,000 and get it now somewhere else, as opposed to trying to chase $1 million 4 years down the road in the NFL. And then maybe that comes too. But I can go get mine now. And here we are.
Yep.
Mason in Oxford. Welcome in, Mason.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, I just think a lot of it has to do more with the level of what it takes week in, week out to play in the SEC, as opposed to what it takes to play in other conferences week in, week out. I mean, if you look at it from top to bottom, the SEC is the most physical league there is. So when you have a 12-team playoff, which you're adding more games at the end of the season as opposed to the 2-team or the 4-team, by the time you make it to the playoffs, It doesn't matter if you get, a couple of weeks to prepare for round one, you're still more beat up than the other teams you're going to face.
Yeah, and I think that's a part of it too. I don't think, are we saying that we think that there are players walking around going the old running back philosophy, saving the tread on the tires by playing in the Sun Belt?
I don't think so.
And I would push back on that a bit because
then, why does Montrell Johnson not just stay at Louisiana and run for 2,000 yards instead of going to Florida and running for 1,000 yards for 2 years?
Because I feel like FCS players have been playing an NFL-like schedule for some time, and I know the physicality is not as big as it is in FBS, let alone the SEC, but the physicality amongst the players that they're playing, I think, is comparable. They're all playing that same kind of schedule, playing that same kind of physicality. If an FCS team were to jump up to play an SEC level, yeah, they'd probably get knocked around. But your Montana State, your Illinois State, your North Dakotas, and the states, they're all comparable in terms of physicality, and they've been able to play that kind of way, that style of ball, playing that long for that long, and we don't hear them complain. By the way, they have less than zero money down there playing in FCS. I think it can be done by college players. I just think the ones right now maybe just aren't fully used to it.
If there's not the mindset of wanting to play in the SEC to challenge yourself or play with the best whatever anymore, why are the lower level guys still moving up?
Mm-hmm.
And why could we say, would it be fair to say this shift or balance of power, whatever, hasn't truly happened until these other teams we're talking about start showing up in the top 10 of traditional recruiting every year?
Right.
Because don't the high-level recruits, like Bryce Underwood still went to the Big Ten, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why doesn't he go to Alabama A&M and then transfer up? They still the high-level recruits still want to go play
right
at the bigger schools.
The bigger schools
to play with the best, to challenge themselves. They still want to go play there. It's just now I think when you go somewhere and don't play immediately, well, I can still make money and go somewhere else and play. Is there now we would have to ask recruits this. Has there been a mental shift in nap pods, water slides in the facility, waterfalls, barbershops, recording studios, like indoor facilities? Have we moved away from caring about that? Because there was a lot on that for a minute.
Facilities, man.
Photo shoots.
Yeah.
Have we gotten away from, we just kind of, and when did that happen? I don't know. But it feels like that doesn't matter anymore.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thamel said the Sorsby thing was facility. We know, no.
Okay, sure.
5 mil. It's 5 mil.
I don't think the recruits matter. I don't think that matters near as much. Robert in Pelham wants to chime in on college football today. Welcome in, Robert.
Hey, good morning. Cole, I've watched a long time, all the way back to whenever you were playing as well at Auburn, big Auburn fan. What I don't see is a lot of money being spent on linemen. We're talking about quarterbacks and receivers. That's great, but how you gonna be able to throw a ball laying on your back? And then two, the SEC's dominance. It was built on a lot of advantages that are now gone. Like the talent concentration, the coaching stability, the resources gap, and that NIL, you're able to fill a bunch of gaps in the off seasons that hurts the conference in depth and in attrition. The SEC style, it's no longer as relevant as it used to be. We used to grind you down by around the fourth quarter, but now, everybody's pretty much the same. They're running the same spread, RPO concepts. The defensive schemes are nationalized, everything. So, it's just kind of hard. And then with Saban retiring, that matters a lot. That mattered a whole bunch because he was a whale. He drained a lot of recruits just to sit on the sideline, and he had a depth chart that was, 8 deep on line. So, there's a lot of changes there. So that's what I think. That's where I think it comes from.
And a lot of that is accurate, but again, that goes back to he had the depth chart. He had the depth.
Yep.
And so he knew if a guy got injured, he knew that if a guy didn't turn out to be as good as he thought he was going to be, the next guy had a chance of being really good. Well, now the next guy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
They're not staying. Yep. It's not just a Nick Saban thing. This is all of these coaches have issues with this. They're all leaving.
And another thing, that siphon's going to dry up. Every time you siphon money, the well gets empty. there's not that much money out there for these players. I mean, maybe there is. I don't know. I don't think every state can drill oil like Texas. So
no, but I go back to what Damian said. I mean, I think even Cody Campbell, you get to a point in time where if your net worth is $3 billion, and I know we look at it and say, well, $1 million to him is $100 to us, whatever, $10 to us. There does become a point in time when you say, all right, guys, we're 56 million deep.
Something's got to give.
And we haven't won a postseason game. All right, we're going to softball. We're about to be the best at volleyballing.
Yeah, right.
Because we can do it for a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
And you probably can.
Yeah.
You can probably go get the best 3 volleyball players in the nation right now for 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to that doesn't even get you a receiver for 1 year right now.
That's real.
Does his brain go there? And all of a sudden we've had enough. We're not doing this anymore.
And you'll get the return for a lot longer. Like, and that's the thing. Like we get to this point and we say money's going to dry up, but I mean, you look at the prices of everything now. I mean, to me, it's a model that it's you can say it's unsustainable, but when are we going to get to that point? Because it'll
be different for every team.
Right. Like different teams are just going to say, I mean, yeah, Texas Tech and those Texas schools, they're going to be good for a long time. But at some point, I mean, you just got to find some guardrails. You got to find some even ground, but it's the haves and the have-nots. That's all it really comes down to.
No doubt. All right, we'll continue the conversation. You can be a part of it. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. You can also text into the show 205-834-9450. Why has college football shifted, and has there been a true shift in dominance? We'll discuss it more next right here on Jocks. The accumulation of talent, I think, is where this all continues to circle back, whether we talk about it in break, on the air, however it's managed. That, to me, is the biggest shift. I don't think that there has been gigantic financial benefit in one place and not the other place, and now it's in a different place, but it's not at a place anymore. I shared this example on a couple different platforms. I told Damien this during the break. My favorite example of it is I used to love to watch Alabama in blowouts. They're winning. Ohio State in blowouts when they're winning. Georgia in blowouts when they're winning. A couple of the Florida teams, whatever, because you would see who was next. I remember it vividly. I remember where I was watching Alabama film. They're playing in Knoxville. I actually think it was Garantano, and he got mutilated in this game. How he continued to get up, I still have no idea. And towards the end of the game, Tennessee runs a screen. Guy's like 22 yards downfield, and there's this lighter defensive tackle, 93, chasing him down. I'm like, hold on a second. That dude started in a 3 technique, and he's chasing down a screen. And it was Jonathan Allen. And no one had said his name all year. If you'd have said his name, the people who followed Alabama recruiting would, oh, you talking about the 4-star D lineman from wherever the hell? Yeah, that guy. But no, he had hardly played. Mm-hmm. And then next year, he's Superman over the
Texas
whoever the running back was, into Trevor Knight, knocking the ball out. He's maybe best player on the team. You don't have that anymore. Mm-mm. And even if you do, there's a chance that guy won't be there.
Yep.
And you can talk about X school can now spend more money than Y school, whatever. And also it works against the argument that is often made of, well, Big Ten has more billionaires. Big Ten has more population. Does that mean they want to spend money on? I mean, you had an accidental billionaire step up for Bryce Underwood, essentially, right?
Yep.
Like, why is he stepping up for Michigan other than his wife saying, we need to play this game? Honey, I know you didn't go there, but I want to see us be good in football. Okay, this ain't going to hurt me that bad. How do we make this happen? Cool, done. And does that mean he's going to do it every year?
That's the question.
They may have more as far as those type of people, those type of individuals that can do those things. But doesn't mean they're going to do it every year. Doesn't mean they want to continue to do it. I'm trying to see what Larry Ellison's net worth is. I know it starts with a B. It's multiple B's. But I don't. 242 billion.
Billion?
He could probably do it for a while.
Yeah, he could. And not miss it. Like, wouldn't even know it was gone.
I've seen his house on Lake Tahoe, by the way. It's like 3 lots. It looks like a hotel.
Yeah.
It does. You're like, oh, it's a nice little hotel there. No, it's Larry Ellison's house.
Must be nice.
Yeah, if you're worth $245 billion, you'd probably go for a while.
Yeah. I'll give you a 10-year.
Say more than that even if you wanted to. If you wanted to.
If you wanted to. But it's insane. It really is. But, like, going back to just kind of just talent overall dispersion.
By the way, quickly.
Go ahead.
Cody Campbell net worth? You want to take a guess?
I'm going to say $542 billion.
John?
I'll go under 300.
Now we're going back and forth with different ones.
Either way, it's in the billions.
The best I think I can get, because I've seen this multiple places, is 2.8
so
billion.
He's on the lighter end of the billion.
Okay, up to 6.4. But again, we just referenced a different guy who's at 242 billion, who doesn't even really care.
Doesn't care
about the team that he just sort of helped put on the map again.
Must be nice.
Money's different, man.
Back with more next.